freaked out, furious, and ultimatum that has been issued. So, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has gone public with a warning that could shake the entire Middle East and beyond. Well, he is demanding Iran to hand over 400 kilograms of enriched uranium, and that too immediately. No negotiations here, no delays, just a direct ultimatum. You're watching TimesXP. This is me, Kriti Yatri. Here we are talking about Jerusalem, New Year's Eve, and historic summit. Netanyahu sat down with US President Donald Trump for a secretive and high-stakes meeting. According to multiple reports, the tone was serious, tense, and unyielding. The key message? Hamas must completely disarm under Trump's 20-point Gaza plan. Iran must halt all uranium enrichment. Israel's internal security, specifically in the Negev desert, it is non-negotiable. Then comes the Iranian ultimatum here. Netanyahu tied the ultimatum demand to the Iranian people's struggle for peace, justice, and freedom, calling it a moral and political responsibility. But here, make no mistakes, this is also a strategic threat, right? Fail to comply, and Israel, backed by the US, could consider military or covert action. Experts warn that this could trigger one of the tensest Middle East crises in years to come. But yes, here Latin America enters the picture. Netanyahu didn't stop at Middle East at all. He fully supports the US strike in Venezuela, praising Trump's decisive and perfect operation. According to him, a new global alignment is underway. Multiple Latin American countries are returning to the American axis. Nations are deepening political, economic, and security ties with Israel. Venezuela is seen as a testing ground for the US-Israel coordinated influence abroad. Let me translate this for you. So, the US-Israel axis is signaling that their power reaches from the Middle East to Latin America. But you know why this is so dangerous? First, we'll talk about Iran. Iran could perceive the ultimatum as a direct threat, escalating military tensions in the Gulf. Then comes Middle East stability. Any confrontation with Iran, it could drag neighboring countries, including Syria, Lebanon, into a big conflict. Then comes Latin America. Venezuela now faces political pressure with the US, showing that it can intervene beyond borders, creating fear among other regional governments. And ultimately, there is global oil market. Any move against Iran or Venezuela, it could actually disrupt energy supply worldwide, affecting prices and economies. You know what Netanyahu really wants here? Basically, he's sending a message to Iran's leadership. Your nuclear program is under control, or you will face consequences. Basically, he's reinforcing Israel-US coordination, showing that the two countries act globally, not just locally. And he's signaling to the world that the US influence is kind of spreading from Caracas to Tehran, from Jerusalem to Washington. But nobody knows how much human and political stakes are there. This isn't just numbers or uranium, it's about millions of Iranians that are living under sanctions and unrest, Venezuelan civilians that are caught in the US military operations, and Hamas fighters potentially facing complete disarmament or military pressure. Well, the global balance of power teetering between nuclear threats and regional dominance here. So in the end, ladies and gentlemen, Netanyahu and Trump, they are sending simultaneous warnings across the continents now. Iran is being pressured on uranium. That's right. Latin America is being reminded of the US military and economic power, and the world is watching a high-stakes game where one wrong move, it could actually ignite multiple regional conflicts. In the end, the question that remains with us is, will Iran really comply or escalate? Will Venezuela resist the US influence further? Could Netanyahu's ultimatum war trigger covert strikes or sanctions across multiple regions? One thing is certain here, the global chessboard has shifted and the tension is at all-time high.